Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let's talk about the partnership between WWE and Netflix. We know that this partnership is now a little over 1 year old, so how's it been? So here are the numbers per Netflix and an article posted by Variety. Subscribers on Netflix watched over 525 million hours of WWE content in 2025. Now that seems like an absolutely massive number, so it looks like the relationship or the partnership between Netflix and WWE is being very fruitful. We'll talk about WWE Unreal in a second, but here are some more numbers to sort of put into context who's watching WWE content on Netflix. Monday Night Raw alone pulled 340 million views, while premium live events broadcast on Netflix outside of the US, like WrestleMania and like Royal Rumble, as well as the weekly show of SmackDown outside of the US, accounted for 185 million views. So WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SmackDown outside of the US, 185 million views. Raw alone, which happens every single Monday night live on Netflix, accounted for 340 million views, totaling up 525 million hours of WWE content watched by Netflix subscribers. That seems like some really, really good numbers, and it seems like it's very fruitful in terms of WWE and Netflix having a partnership. Why I like WWE being on Netflix is that it gets wrestling in front of non-wrestling fans' eyes. Right? Normally, for a very long time, professional wrestling, WWE, whatever you want to call it, was sort of a niche, sort of not so mainstream thing, and like if you watched it, you were kind of part of this like cool group that people sort of made fun of and they didn't make fun of, and like it was just like a niche sort of audience to be a part of, and there was a community around that. Now there still very much is, especially with independent professional wrestling and sort of the AEW fans, which are kind of dwindling by each and every day. But then you have sort of the WWE brand, which was different than all that other stuff. Now WWE is super mainstream. Netflix, ESPN, everywhere. The athletes are talking about all these things. They're sports entertainers. They're doing media. They're doing all this type of stuff because now they're inside of the mainstream. And Netflix and ESPN have a lot to do with that. And also the Triple H era has a lot to do with that as well. Now, of course, there's good and bad of everything in there. Of course, we've had a year of WWE on Netflix, so there's been some good shows and some bad shows and some hits and some misses. The one that comes to mind as like the biggest miss was WrestlePalooza. It wasn't on Netflix, but like ESPN and WWE like hyped that show up so much like it was going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it was a horrible show. There's been some great episodes of Monday Night Raw. There's been some very mediocre episodes of Monday Night Raw. But I think the one thing that maybe fans are not understanding about the relationship between WWE and Netflix is that WWE is obligated to create content. Their weekly Monday night show is not enough, right? They have to have the premium live events as well, which are outside the US. Most of the premium live events in the US are on ESPN, but WWE is obligated to create content because that's what Netflix needs. Netflix needs as much content as humanly possible because people are scrolling endlessly through their content and need something to catch their eye so they can keep them on the platform. That's what every social media streaming site wants you to do. They want you to stay on the platform, so they have to have engaging content. So Netflix is going to push forward the most engaging content, just like TikTok would push forward the most engaging content, so you stay on the platform. I think that's the reason why we're seeing this WWE Unreal show. You look 20 years ago, this would have never fucking happened ever. Like when I started wrestling in 2016, it was still like very hush-hush, kayfabe, keep everything in the business, don't let anyone else out on the secrets, keep everything hush-hush. And even in 2016, people knew the deal about WWE or professional wrestling. They knew it was a scripted sort of sports entertainment, sort of theatrical, violent event. But people knew it was scripted. But we weren't supposed to talk about it, ever. Even when I entered the building, a business in 2016 and was a professional wrestler for 6 years. And even before that, way before that, it's like you never spoke about the ins and outs of the business because you're giving away the trade secrets. You're telling people how the sausage is made. And so now when they come to a show, it's very hard for them to suspend their disbelief. That's why everyone who's ever been inside a professional wrestling ring hates the word fake. It's not fake. Nothing about it is fake. Tell that to everybody who has, ribs, cracked knees, broken neck, like they can't barely walk, their back is fucked, they're in a walker. Tell everyone that. Tell everyone who's ruined their bodies for the business that it's fake. Because then your favorite TV shows, your favorite movies, your favorite comics, your favorite everything that you watch on television is also fake. But it's not. That's just not how we describe it. Because we want to go in and watch something and we want to suspend our disbelief. We want to be immersed in what's happening. And if we knew everything about everything, then how are we going to be immersed in the subject? If we knew that the writer scripted this the way exactly how it was supposed to go, and this is exactly how it was planned, and then we saw plan B, A, and D, and F, and all this, and then, oh my God, it happened. Are we shocked? Are we invested? No. And so if you look 20 years ago, someone like Vince McMahon is running the show, he would have literally never let this happen. But Triple H is sort of a different owner. TKO is a different type of owner, right? Triple H doesn't own it, he runs it, but TKO owns it and owns him. And all they care about is making money and getting WWE in the mainstream. We talked about Elon Musk, right, potentially buying WWE, which again is not credible. It's potentially rumored to be worth $9.8 billion or $9.3 billion or something like that. And TKO wants it worth $10 billion. So how do you do that? You get it more mainstream and you give away secrets of the business so that you get non-wrestling fans to tune into the wrestling, right? I've seen all over X. The only reason I'm thinking about ever watching weekly WWE programming on Netflix is because I've seen WWE Unreal. And so for like the wrestler in me and the old school wrestler in me and all the people who've talked about it, Seth Rollins and CM Punk, who thinks it's a terrible idea to do this WWE Unreal series, which I think it is as well, it's an obligation that WWE has from Netflix because they need to produce content. And Netflix knows that documentaries, behind the scenes, and reality TV is what gets the most views. That's what gets the most views on Netflix outside of like a really, really, really good show, which sporadically happens. Like Adolescence was really good. Most recently, His and Hers was really good. But most of the time, people are watching trash TV to sort of numb themselves or distract themselves from the life they have. That's a larger conversation at another point, but that's also what WWE and sports entertainment is about. It's about to make you forget about your problems and make you invest in the thing you're invested in for the next 2.5, 3 hours, and maybe sort of create this narrative about your life that you can also get back up and you can also keep fighting and you can also keep moving forward. That's the vibe. But Netflix knows that reality TV does really well. And so they've meshed the two worlds and they've kind of forced WWE, probably in a contract somewhere. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of the contract, but I'm just thinking as to why WWE would give away all the trade secrets for something that is about surprises, and about suspending disbelief. That's why WWE has now had to work extra time on sending out information to all the dirt sheets every single day. So there's 10 different dirt sheets, and they all say something different, so fans don't know what to think. But that's what WWE Unreal is. It's about attracting the non-wrestling fan into the wrestling world, so they see this back end stuff, the spoilers, how the writers work, what wrestlers feel after they have a bad match, the crying, the tears, the sweat, the blood, all that stuff, and maybe attracts them to come watch a WWE actual show. Now, fans of WWE already, maybe they love it, maybe they don't. I don't like it, but I think that's maybe the reason behind why WWE is doing the WWE Unreal shows. And then you can see 525 million hours of content watched from Netflix subscribers for WWE content. So they're going to keep producing more and more and more and more so that WWE might be the biggest thing that happens on Netflix. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen because, wrestling doesn't reach that wide of an audience and it's not really for everyone. It can be, certainly, but it's for a special kind of person who understands that they're suspending their disbelief. They're watching a theatrical sort of drama happen right in front of them, and there's good versus evil, and there's narrative, and then all these great things. I love professional wrestling. I think everyone could potentially enjoy it, but it is not for everyone, definitely. But that's what I think about sort of Netflix and the ongoing partnership. Obviously, Netflix and WWE, great partnership, a lot of viewers, a lot of hours of content watched, but I think there's an obligation from WWE, from Netflix, to produce this type of content outside of just their weekly show so that, non-wrestling fans who are scrolling Netflix will still want to watch WWE content, which is on Netflix. So that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.